Salut, c'est Wendy, c'est aujourd'hui nous nous retrouvons pour une nouvelle vidéo découverte sur le jeu Horace. Donc Horace, c'est le jeu qui est en ce moment même, au moment où je vous parle, il est gratuit sur l'Epic Store Games et en fait quand j'ai vu le jeu, je me suis dit ah ça a l'air pas mal ce petit jeu. Donc c'est un jeu édité par 505 Games et c'est développé par Paul. J'ai zappé, on a vu le nom. Attendez, je fais vite une recherche. Je vous fais ça en... c'est fait par Paul Helman, voilà. Et normalement aussi en développeur, il y a Scaplehorn. Et donc c'est un jeu qui était à la base sorti le 18 juillet 2019. Le jeu est un platformer 2D. Et on va voir ça ensemble. Donc c'est une vidéo découverte. J'ai juste modifié un peu des options. J'ai essayé de modifier avec la manette. J'espère que ça va passer parce que là pour vous dire sur les menus je valide avec carré. Je sais pas pourquoi en fait. Donc j'espère que ça se passera bien. Alors, je sais pas si le jeu a des voix, s'il y a des sous-titres. Donc si j'ai bien compris, c'est un jeu où on contrôle un robot, une sorte de petit robot qui va essayer d'aider les gens et tout, et ça se représente un peu comme un platformer 2D. De ce que j'en ai entendu parler, le jeu fait à peu près une douzaine d'heures de vie, donc de durée de vie, donc ce qui est plutôt pas mal, je trouve. Et il y a des cinématiques, il y a une petite histoire qui a l'air vraiment pas mal. Donc on va voir tout ça ensemble dans cette petite vidéo découverte, à voir ce qui s'y passe. Bon là on est déjà on est sur vraiment de cinématiques où il n'y a pas de son, il n'y a pas de... C'est en fait de l'interprétation avec les différentes cinématiques. C'est très joli, c'est du pixel art, hein, je trouve ça très sympa, même si je trouve que les plans sur les personnages, tout ça, sont peut-être un peu trop zoomés, je trouve. Parce que je trouve que ça pixelise vraiment trop, en fait. Je vous donne vraiment mon avis sur le coup, hein. Ça sonne, ils sont balés steak lui. Ça a l'air, on est en gameplay là. Il faut vraiment que je joue au stick parce que la croix directionnelle, je ne sais pas pourquoi, est mal paramétrée aussi. C'est trop bizarre.
And so, I was born. The first people I remember seeing were the old man, the old lady, and their daughter, Heather. After they'd said hello, the old man powered me down so he could install some software. I could tell they were nice people. The old man didn't give me a silly voice or stupid personality. And the old lady didn't dress me like a clown. Although for some reason, Heather really didn't like me. Once I'd had time to get used to walking, the old man asked me to dash from one end of the room to the other.
Ok, donc là voilà, là déjà on est plus sur un vrai gameplay. Notre petit perso est très bien habillé, petit costard et tout. petit costume, petit sympathique. Petit costume, c'est bien sympatoche.
Next, the old man spent a couple of hours building some wooden platforms. He said he wanted me to jump up them, but I must admit, I was scared. It wasn't until I saw Heather and her mother happily climbing up them that I decided it might be okay.
D'accord, donc là on est vraiment sur une phase tuto pour nous expliquer que notre personnage il peut sauter, il peut courir, on peut faire des trucs. Attendez. Non. En fait j'étais en mode what, ça me fait trop penser au... Ça aurait été drôle que là ça soit une référence au... Parce que vu que c'est un jeu indé... Hein.
He told me to try to reach the other end of the room without touching the floor. Heather said, the floor's made of lava. But when I smiled at her, she just frowned and looked away. The old lady arranged some pillows and blankets. She said it was in case I fell, but I think she just wanted it to look more like lava.
D'accord. Bon bah là... On... Ah d'accord, donc... Avec X, je peux courir plus vite. D'accord.
When I reached the other side, the old man just smiled and said, "That'll do, for now."
Bon, pour le moment, on est vraiment sur un truc très simple. Bon, le The Floor is Lava, hein, bien sûr. En tout cas, c'est très joli, mais bon, comme je dis, en fait, c'est dommage qu'il y ait des si gros zooms sur les persos. J'aurais vraiment préféré, en fait, qu'ils mettent un peu d'écart sur les persos, en fait.
And I was introduced to everyone else. The professor was the old man's brother. He was very quiet, and always seemed to just kind of stare at me. He had lived with the old man for 5 years. The house was so huge they barely saw each other. He preferred instead to stay in his room, leaving everything up to his butler, Mr. Deck, as he insisted everyone call him, although the professor always called him Anton. For a while, he called me the yellow bastard, but the old man made him stop, as he thought it sounded racist. Mr. Silton was the old man's driver. Before he worked here, he'd gotten in with some bad people and was the driver in a post office robbery, although it all went wrong for some reason. Mr. Silton showed me a video of his band. I'm sure some people must like it, but I just found it terrifying. Then there was Alice. She was the cook. She was a nice old lady. When she was younger, she had been a TV chef. Then, years later, she had a small part in Coronation Street. Mr. Silton said, before she worked for the old man, Alice was quite a hoarder. She kept old newspapers and bicycles, and something about a poo in a shoebox. The next morning, the old man gathered everyone together to show them what I was capable of. "What else does he do?" asked Mr. Silton. The old man smiled. "He can help around the house." "Could he help me with my newspaper collecting?" asked Alice. "I'm not sure that's a good idea," said the old lady, "but he can do all sorts of jobs." "Yeah," said Mr. Silton, "shove a stick up his ass and he can do Deck's job." Now, said the old man, "we have company," pointing to some important-looking people. 2 large men, both called Gary, set up what the old man referred to as lasers. He said again, I should try to get from one end of the room to the other, but I shouldn't be worried, as I had a special chip which meant no matter how damaged I was, I couldn't die. He said it was like infinite lives in a video game. But when he realized I didn't understand, he said he would explain another time.
D'accord, donc là, on est sur un On est toujours dans cette idée de tuto pour nous expliquer comment le jeu va se passer. Hein. Ok.
Everybody clapped, except the important-looking men. Not exactly a cold, calculated killer, is it? Said the man in black. The man in grey laughed. What kind of artificial intelligence was that? He asked. Move right, unless there's something in the way. Okay, said the old man. He turned to me and whispered, they're going to make it quite a bit tougher. But I'm sure you'll be fine.
Ok, alors, on sent les gars qui veulent... Oh, attendez. Ah oui, je peux me baisser, donc logiquement ça doit passer. D'accord. Bon, là on est vraiment sur... mince. D'accord, très bien. Je me suis loupé en fait, je pensais pas... Mon saut allait être trop court. Oh non, je me suis fait toucher par le truc au-dessus. Ils sont sérieux là. En fait, j'ai peur de me faire toucher par le truc du dessus maintenant. Ok. Ah mince, putain, je pensais pas qu'il allait passer ici. D'accord. Je veux aller trop vite en fait. J'ai eu peur de me louper sur le saut encore une fois. Ah ouais, alors attendez, parce que en fait là il va là, d'accord. Ok. Est-ce que c'est bon? Oui. Ok.
The guys then rearranged the room one last time. The old man smiled. Now, there's no need to look so glum, he said. I'm still happy with everything you've done today. So this time, I was determined to do him proud.
Bon, on va aller doucement. Parce que on sait pas si... Ah, d'accord, donc là on est sur ce style de bail là, d'accord. Oh putain. Je m'attendais pas à avoir deux trucs en même temps qu'allait m'arriver sur moi. Voilà, c'est vraiment pour nous apprendre qu'on peut faire des sauts plus ou moins élevés.
The old man's friends actually seemed quite happy when I made it through. We might have a winner after all, said the man in black. It's no Killbot 3000, but you can almost see the fire in its eyes. A couple of days later, the old lady said she had a surprise for me, my own room. She also wanted to play me some music. I wasn't sure after what Mr. Silton had shown me. As if music wasn't amazing enough, the old lady then bought me a television set.
Ça c'est un robot qui a le droit à ce qu'il veut.
I watched everything I could. Comedy, drama, horror, sci-fi. Anything anyone wanted to watch I would happily watch with them. Then one day, the old man set up a small box. He plugged some cables into the television and said, "This is what I meant."
Les jeux vidéo.
Video games. Played games at every chance I could. I took on everyone. I was unstoppable. I had enjoyed music, film, and television. But to me, video games really were the highest art form.
c'est quoi? On va vraiment jouer à un jeu, là? What? Ah, attention, c'est un magnifique Pong. Nous voilà sur un magnifique Pong des plus magnifiques. Attention. Oh. Oh. Est-ce qu'on va gagner? Est-ce qu'on peut gagner cette partie contre le vieux monsieur, hein, comme il l'appelle? Oui. C'est incroyable.
Heather's birthday was a couple of months later. Her mum and dad had bought her a camera and arranged a day up by the sea so that Heather could take some photos, although I really don't think she wanted any pictures of me. When the old man asked the professor if he wanted to go, he frowned and said, "I can't believe you want to spend time with that thing, it could destroy the world." I wasn't sure what he meant, but the old man just smiled and said, "That's what you said about the Game Boy. And on, how about you?" "I don't think so," said Mr. Deck. "The last time I got in that car, Barry crashed us into a branch of Woolworths. I never would have gone into Woolworths of my own accord." The old man explained that the car was old and the brakes had failed, but Mr. Deck was having none of it. So Mr. Silton drove, and Alice came along for the fresh air. I enjoyed being outside. Although, the old lady kept telling me to be careful of the rickety old walkways. It felt like she was telling me off, but I think she was just concerned. As the old man and I stood on the cliff tops, I could see something in the distance. I wasn't sure what it was, so I asked the old man. He said it was a battleship that had sunk in the 1940s. But he looked so sad when he spoke about war. I didn't see what happened, but the metal platform Heather was climbing on had collapsed. She was safe, even if the rocks she was on looked very dangerous. The tide was rising, and we didn't know how long the Coast Guard was going to be, so I offered to climb down and get her. The old man agreed, but said I should be careful, as Heather doesn't have infinite lives, like I do.
Ah, donc là on commence à être sur du vrai platforming. Ah merde, je suis allé trop loin. Ok. Bon, j'aime bien, hein, normalement la gamine elle était juste en dessous. Oh putain, bien sûr. Hein, faut bien qu'ils mettent aussi des...
Heather was unconscious, and her leg was broken. So I picked her up as gently as I could. I decided it would be best if I didn't run the rest of the way.
Donc on doit pas courir. On doit pas courir, mais non, on peut sauter, et on peut faire des bonds de ouf. Ah, bien sûr, on va ajouter des éléments casse-bonbons en même temps que des plateformes qui tombent. Hein, ah, il semblerait que c'est la fin. Et comment se fait-il que les gens sont arrivés de l'autre côté avant nous?
The medics made sure Heather was okay, and then took her off to hospital. A few days later, we all went to see how she was doing. She was fine, but would have to wear the cast for a couple of months.
Robot. Bah oui, bien sûr. Oui, je trouve que c'est ce qui est dommage, c'est que les personnages sont tellement zoomés qu'on a du mal à... Alors après, je sais que c'est vraiment pour montrer que, regardez, ils arrivent à faire des persos avec des pixels, mais c'est vrai que je trouve qu'ils sont trop... Ils zooment trop sur les persos et...
We became good friends. We enjoyed the same films and TV. She was also annoyingly good at some of my favorite games. After a while, she became very interested in how I worked. Soon she knew as much about me as the old man did, if not more. We spent the next couple of months visiting other countries, as when it came to teaching me things, the old man always liked to pick interesting locations. He had explained the basics of mathematics to me at the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Taught me history in the dead of night, surrounded by mysterious giant stones.
Il y a besoin de se faire ça pour apprendre des choses. Bah vas-y, balance des...
Why I was surprised when the old man took me to a restaurant. It was nice, but it seemed very somber compared to the previous grand locations. He said he just wanted to chat, and this was nice and quiet. Plus it was his favorite place to eat. We talked about life, the universe, Douglas Adams, everything really. When I asked him why were we here, why did we exist, he just smiled and said, life is like a game, just don't expect to be finished anytime soon. When I looked puzzled, he said, well, everyone should have a purpose. So I asked him, what's my purpose? He thought for a bit, then said, so you want to be a real boy? Which just confused me even more. Eventually the old man said, for now, I want you to help clean things around the house. I must have looked unimpressed, as he then said, okay, I want you to clean 1,000,000 things. It didn't sound like the meaning of life, but I suppose you've got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. C'est très mystérieux hein, comme jeu pour le moment.
The old man said he wanted to install some more software, so he powered me down. When I came to, he said Mr. Silton had a joke for me, and that I should pull his finger. I don't think I got the joke. So the old man powered me down again. This time when I pulled Mr. Silton's finger, I got the joke. But it wasn't very funny. The old man then explained that he had installed a special chip which allowed me to clean away anything that was broken. He said it also tells me how many things are nearby, and how many smaller things are in a bigger thing. It all sounded very complicated, but he said all I really had to do was pause, and it would bring up all the information I needed. He then said he wanted me to find and clean all of the items in the room. He told me there would be some chains to climb, but that would be nice and easy, as I just had to press up. He then finished by saying, when I had collected all the items, I should come back here.
Ok. Donc là on peut mettre pause. C'est ça. Bon là on récupère des objets. D'accord. Excusez-moi, donc j'ai eu un appel, donc excusez-moi. Alors, pour le moment, il y a un truc qui va que je trouve un peu dommage, c'est qu'il semblerait que On se trouve sur un jeu qui a l'air sympa, hein. Le jeu a l'air vraiment très cool. Mais il y a un truc qui me... J'espère, c'est parce que c'est le début, c'est que pour le moment, c'est que si on se fait toucher, qu'on tombe, qu'on meurt, on reprend vraiment au début, il n'y a aucun checkpoint pour le moment. Alors, est-ce que c'est bon? Alors, ça me dit qu'il y a encore 5 objets ici. J'ai peut-être loupé des objets, alors, attendez. Ah bah oui, là. Tout simplement. Objet ramassé. Donc là, j'ai tout. Voilà. J'ai tous les objets. Donc allons voir.
The old man then asked the old lady Heather and I to follow him outside. I was happy too, as it was a lovely hot day. The old man said he was worried that Alice had been hoarding again. She had filled up a small barn with old bicycles and newspapers. Heather said, this would be a perfect chance to properly test my new powers. The old man thought for a second, then said, using the steptoe chip, I should find and clean at least 300 things. When we explained to Alice what we wanted to do, she seemed scared. But after the old lady kindly explained that, well, the barn was starting to smell. She said it would be okay. One last thing, said the old man. If you want to use a door, just push up. When I was about to enter the old barn, Mr. Silton said he had seen some mushrooms growing inside. He asked me to give him any that I found. He then winked, but I wasn't sure why.
D'accord. Bien sûr. Donc là, on est toujours sur... cette voiture qui est beaucoup trop grande au bout d'un moment. Ok, donc 27 objets ici, ok. Donc il y a des objets où il faut rester plus ou moins longtemps dessus pour les récupérer entièrement. Il y a des combos d'objets aussi. Est-ce que je dois attendre qu'ils soient en bas ou en haut? Je vais passer en haut dessus. Ah oui, on a eu un champignon, j'ai vu. Logiquement, on a assez d'objets, mais on va essayer de finir la zone un maximum. Ces objets, ces champignons en mode, on va dire, là c'est un exemple. Si je me fais toucher, est-ce que je reprends au tout début du niveau? Est-ce que je reprends à l'endroit de là? À l'entrée de la pièce, j'espère que c'est à l'entrée de la pièce, parce que ça serait quand même plus logique. Alors on va voir, oui. Ah, mais la progression est quand même gardée, ok. Donc ça va, en vrai. Voilà, donc là il n'y a plus rien, voilà.
The old man was very happy with everything that I had cleaned, but I think Mr. Silton was even more happy with his mushrooms.
Ok. C'est une feuille. c'est mon automne, peut-être. Alors vu que j'ai fait une coupure, je sais pas combien de temps il s'est passé, je vais faire encore 6-7 minutes, je pense.
As we watched the trees blowing in the breeze, the old lady said, "The leaves must fall before the blossom comes." She had already explained the seasons to me, so for once, I actually understood. But it didn't make me feel any better. The old lady obviously had enough of my moping, and said, "Right, next week we're going to have a party." For some reason she insisted that we were all going to wear costumes. Heather was very excited and said, "I've got some perfect ideas."
Cette musique... Ah bah oui, parce qu'il y a Halloween. Bah oui. C'est vrai. Merci pour cette musique qui...
It was terrifying. Everyone was dressed like someone else. I think I was meant to be some kind of pumpkin, as everyone kept shouting, "It's the Great Pumpkin." Still, at least Mr. Silton was having fun telling everyone his joke. And I suppose Heather's costume was quite flattering.
D'accord.
After what seemed like forever, everybody left, and things got back to normal. Heather was allowed to watch a scary film before she went to bed, but I had to help Alice and Mr. Deck clean up. I wasn't happy about this, but the old man said if I was quick, then I could watch the end of the film with them. Alice was vacuuming, and Mr. Deck was taking down the decorations, so I thought I should clean up the plates and glasses.
Donc ça a l'air que ça va être notre but, ça va être de récupérer tout. Oh, il y a un bruit d'alarme.
The ear-splitting sound was the fire alarm. As usual, Mr. Deck blamed Mr. Silton, saying he was probably smoking one of his jazz cigarettes. But then the professor appeared. He said that there was something burning in the kitchen. Alice looked confused, saying that she hadn't cooked anything since the morning. We were all surprised when Mr. Deck opened the oven. Inside was a large black cloak and a slightly burnt pair of men's underwear. Suddenly the old lady burst in. She looked terrified. She kept shouting, "There's someone on the roof." When we went outside, it slowly became obvious that it was Mr. Silton. He was completely naked and playing his guitar. He shouted down, "When I finish this song, I'm going to fly." The old lady said, "Oh my God, I know this one, there's only about 30 seconds left." The old man then...
Il faut rester 5 minutes, non? Oui. D'accord, donc en fait on a le ton qui se... Là c'est cool parce que ça change de style, on va dire. Là on est vraiment sur l'idée de se dépêcher. Je pense qu'il faut faire ça.
By the time I had made it up to the roof, Mr. Silton was beside the edge. I tried to calm him down, but he was acting even more bizarre than usual.
Oui, ça c'est les champignons, ça. Le robot a sauvé l'idiot.
After an hour or so, Mr. Silton was fine. He said he had eaten some bad magic mushrooms. Part of me wondered why he hadn't doubled in size. Still, he was soon laughing and joking with the paramedics. One of them said he looked like the world's worst clown. I don't think Mr. Silton liked that. So he told his own joke. But that just made the other paramedic call him Marshmallow Marceau. I don't think he liked that either. But at least he was still in one piece. A month or so later, Heather and I were playing video games, when the old man said he wanted me to come outside. He said it had been a year since I had arrived, so he had a present for me. He placed the teddy bear high up on a wooden platform. He then told me I should try to pick it up.
Encore. Voilà. Hein?
Try as I might, I couldn't reach the teddy bear. However, I still don't understand what happened next.
Oh. Bon, j'imagine que le vieil homme est décédé en fait. Et je pense que... Bon, je pense que Horace c'est le nom du robot, hein. Je pense que lui il a disjoncté en fait, malheureusement quand il a vu que le vieil homme a tout simplement rendu l'âme, on va dire. Bon allez, on va faire une grosse vidéo. bonne grosse vidéo pour vraiment découvrir, vraiment, parce que là on était vraiment dans le prologue. Mais en tout cas le jeu est vraiment très sympa, je le trouve vraiment cool. Bon là je pense qu'on est vraiment dans l'idée qu'il y a plusieurs... il y a vraiment beaucoup de temps qui va passer. D'accord. Il se passe quoi là? Je suis désolé mais là je comprends pas trop ce qui se passe là. C'est quoi? Ça y est, il a compris la réponse à la vie et à l'existence. 42, c'est ça? En vrai ce serait drôle qu'il y ait le 42 qui apparaisse à quelque part. Juste pour rigoler. Mais what? Il se passe quoi là? Il se voit partout, Horace. Il se voit dans tous les trucs. Dans toutes les œuvres d'art, tous les... Cet effet est très sympa. En tout cas. En fait, c'est vraiment cool dans l'idée parce que... Alors ça, c'est une référence. Ça aussi. Ça, c'est des références à des jeux de Sega, ça. C'est très étrange.
Was I dead? Was this heaven? It sort of looked like the basement bathroom.
Uh-huh.
It was the shoes the old man was going to give me. I thought I might as well put them on. They were just the right size. The old man's hat fit me pretty good as well. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I wore it.
Alors j'imagine que plusieurs années ce sont des... Bah ce sont...
Amazingly, the shoes allowed me to defy gravity. Or maybe it was the hat.
Ah je m'attendais pas à ça en fait. Ah l'idée est vraiment cool. Regardez la petite animation où il remet sa cravate, je trouve ça juste trop sympa en fait. Ah l'idée est vraiment cool. En l'escalier c'était détruit.
The basement was flooded, and the stairs had collapsed. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I wanted to get back upstairs. I had to be careful, the electricity was going haywire in some places.
Ah, donc on peut sauter comme ça, d'accord. Ok. Ah oui, donc là, pour t'expliquer que quand tu as la... Quand t'es en gravité, tu gardes cette gravité même quand tu sautes. Ah, d'accord. Ah oui, on peut faire ça aussi, ok. On peut en fait juste sauter, et si on est assez proche d'une plateforme, on...
How long had I been asleep? Months? Years? I was so confused. Where had everybody gone?
Ouais, donc c'est ça, je pense que plusieurs années se sont écoulées depuis... Bon, ça a l'air qu'il faut sortir, hein, pas le choix.
I was slightly scared. This was the first time I had been outside on my own.
Ah, ils utilisent pas mal de musique très connue, hein. Ouais.
I knew what I had to do. This had to be my purpose. I would clean a million things, so I could become a real boy. Whatever that meant.
Bon, on est toujours dans l'idée qu'il faut récupérer des objets. Oh. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ça gueule Helman là.
The screaming was coming from one of the bedrooms, but the stairs were blocked by a wall of fire.
Bon, là, ça sert strictement à rien. Enfin, je me demande si on est sur un truc en limité en fait. Là, il n'y a personne.
The people screaming turned out to be a man, a woman, and their children. They were confused and terrified. At first the man looked like he was ready to fight me, but after I convinced them that I was there to help, he calmed down. There was no way I could carry them all at once, so the children went first. I dropped the children off at the front door and promised them that I would be back with their parents.
Ne promets pas des choses... Oui, voilà, tu peux plus atteindre cette... Oh, si, on peut l'atteindre comme ça. Ah putain, j'avais pas vu qu'il y avait ça.
The fire was getting much worse, so the woman went next.
Ah là là, regardez ça, on peut pas du tout emmener tout le monde en même temps. C'est horrible.
When we got to the front door, all the woman said was, "Thank you, please hurry."
On peut plus passer par là. Il va falloir sûrement... Ouais, voilà. Ah, punaise. Je m'en doutais un peu.
By the time I managed to get back,
Et l'homme était inconscient, je vois ça.
I had to pick him up quickly, as I could tell the house was going to collapse at any moment.
J'imagine, ouais, voilà, on peut plus sauter. Est-ce que j'ai échoué ou pas? Est-ce que j'ai pris la porte? Ça va être un game over. Non. Non, voilà.
I helped the family set up a tent so they had somewhere to stay. The kids were excited as they got to camp outside, but I think they knew they had just lost their home. When I mentioned my quest to clean a million things, the man said I should look through the rubble of the house, as they had no use for it. So, when everyone was making dinner, I looked through the wreckage. There wasn't anything I could clean, but to my astonishment, I found a TV set and a games console. With a bit of fiddling I was able to get them to work. So I sat playing games with the kids until their parents said it was bedtime. As we talked, the man opened a bottle of wine. I asked what had happened, why was everything so ruined? The man looked at the woman, then the woman sighed and said, "There was a war." "Yes, a war," said the man. one side of the planet attacked the other, and before we knew, it was all over. Everything gone. Everything destroyed. Well, it's late, said the woman. We should really get some sleep. Help yourself to anything you need, and we'll see you tomorrow. In the morning, I asked the man if he knew what had caused the fire that had destroyed their house. The man smiled. Crap old house, bad wiring, constant electrical surges from the unreliable power plant, take your pick. He said, if we had the money, we'd move to the mainland. But we can barely feed ourselves, let alone buy a new house, so for now we're left here with the rest of the scum. But he did say I should head to the mainland, as there would be plenty there for me to clean, and a better quality of rubbish. The man said, before the war, my lovely wife used to be a fisherman. Fisherwoman? Fishing person? I used to catch fish, interrupted the woman, and, seeing as you saved us all from the fiery end, maybe you would like to borrow my boat to get to the mainland. I was a little scared, but then they gave me some captain software and I was an old salty sea dog within minutes.
Voilà, ok. J'imagine on peut revenir en arrière pour fouiller. Oh, petite référence derrière, je pense, dans le fond là. Ça fait un peu référence à Phoenix Wright. Vu le personnage, comment il est positionné et tout, je trouve. Donc voilà, donc je pense que cette petite vidéo découverte va s'arrêter ici. Et ben, je trouve ce jeu plutôt sympa, il est vraiment cool. Il y a pas mal de petites références à des jeux vidéo, à la pop culture, et même à des musiques. Et bah franchement sympa. Le début, je me demandais comment ça allait se découpiller, comment ils allaient lancer le jeu. Et bah voilà, en fait l'histoire en fait c'était que on allait notre personnage, vu que c'est un robot, allait on va dire un peu disjoncté hein, pendant plusieurs années, se réveiller et une guerre a eu lieu. Donc moi je vais continuer ce petit jeu de mon côté parce qu'il a l'air bien sympatoche. Je sais pas ce que vous avez pensé de ce que vous avez vu dans cette vidéo, mais moi je le trouve vraiment sympa, je trouve le concept vraiment cool, juste le fait de pouvoir marcher comme ça sur les murs, je m'y attendais pas, en vrai je m'attendais à un truc comme un double saut, un truc comme ça, ou un grand saut, mais pas le fait de pouvoir marcher sur un mur. En vrai c'est vraiment cool, je trouve l'idée vraiment cool. Donc voilà, donc j'espère que cette vidéo vous aura plu, à plus, et à la prochaine, et on se retrouve pour une autre vidéo. Salut!